Do you ever sense that something monumental is on the horizon? It seems like the front office could be putting together a strategy that truly adds up. I've been diving deep into some insights, and what I've uncovered could really alter the trajectory of this team. What we're about to dive into might just be the first genuine indication that a shift is happening in Berea. The NFL just handed the Cleveland Browns a significant victory, one that could redefine the level of aggressiveness Andrew Berry and the front office can adopt this offseason. The league has notified all 32 teams that the anticipated salary cap for 2026 is expected to fall between $301.2 million and $305.7 million. That's a notable increase from the current $279.2 million figure, and it's almost $100 million higher than just 4 years back. For a franchise such as Cleveland, which is currently facing challenges with cap space, this increase is about more than just numbers on a ledger. It's a game changer. It paves the way not only to fill gaps, but to execute significant strategies. The Browns find themselves in a tough financial situation. Absolutely. With Berry's history of contract manipulation, deal restructuring, and cutting underperforming veterans, there's a genuine opportunity to turn things around swiftly. With this cap increase, the Browns are now firmly in the mix as active contenders in free agency, rather than just sitting on the sidelines. That leads us to a fascinating turn of events: the Baltimore Ravens pipeline. Now that Todd Monken is in Cleveland, the Browns could be poised to leverage Monken's previous connections to their advantage. Several names are emerging from Baltimore, each one bringing a solid understanding of Monken's offensive style, established chemistry, and a track record of proven production. The Browns have already brought in George Warhop, who previously coached the offensive line in Baltimore. This is no mere coincidence. It's a calculated play. Kick things off with Tyler Linderbaum, a true powerhouse in run blocking among centers in the league. In 2025, he achieved an impressive overall PFF grade of 79.4, highlighted by a standout 83.2 in run blocking. He surrendered a mere 2 sacks and racked up only 4 penalties throughout the entire season. Linderbaum would represent a significant improvement at center, particularly with the current starter, Ethan Posich, likely not coming back due to injury and free agency concerns. The Browns are in dire need of assistance in this area. In the previous season, they found themselves at 31st in pass block efficiency and were tied for second in total pressures allowed. Shedeur Sanders faced relentless pressure every single snap during his time as a starter. Cleveland led the league in quarterback hits allowed. With 4 of their starting offensive linemen from day one entering free agency, there's significant uncertainty surrounding the returns of Jack Conklin and Posich. With the possibility of Joel Bitonio hanging up his cleats, Wyatt Teller could find himself as the sole veteran presence on the offensive line. Linderbaum is the perfect fit, not only as a temporary solution, but also as a long-term answer. All right, it's time to dive into the world of wide receivers. Absolutely. We're diving into a name that's quite unexpected: DeAndre Hopkins. Absolutely. DH is back on the roster. He just finished his time in Baltimore. Even though he's past his peak, Hopkins displayed moments that brought back memories of his former greatness. His market value sits at a surprisingly low $1.48 million. A true bargain for a veteran capable of making game-changing plays. Check out that incredible one-handed touchdown catch in Buffalo. While Hopkins might not hold the WR1 title any longer, his experience and knack for mentoring young receivers like Joachim Bell and Dantavian Wicks make him a compelling low-risk, high-reward asset. When you have the chance to snag a player like Hopkins at that price, you go for it. Every single time. The Baltimore connection runs deeper than you might think. Cornerback Chidobe Awuzie, now at the age of 30, had a quietly impressive campaign in 2025. A PFF grade of 74.7 overall and 75.3 in coverage may not shout superstar, but it definitely shouts reliability. Exactly what the Browns are craving in their secondary. Denzel Ward has dealt with a number of injuries throughout his career. Martin Emerson, fresh off a breakout season, is now hitting the free agent market while also recovering from an injury. When Ward was sidelined, the defense fell apart. Bringing in Awuzie as a depth corner, particularly one capable of stepping in as a CB2 or CB3, provides Jim Schwartz, or whoever ultimately takes charge of the defense, with significant flexibility. He may not be the most glamorous player, but his physicality stands out. He tackles effectively and aligns perfectly with the aggressive man coverage scheme that the Browns have established. We witnessed it live when he disrupted a potential game-winning touchdown throw from Shedeur Sanders to Gage Larvadain in that thrilling Browns-Ravens clash. That's the type of understated impact that transforms defeats into victories. Before jumping to conclusions about our tight end situation, let's take a moment to rethink it. David Njoku is entering the free agency market. He's getting older, and the injuries are beginning to pile up. Here comes Isaiah Likely. Monken is very familiar with him. Danny Myers, the tight end coach that Monken brought along to Cleveland, is also in the mix. Likely embodies the prototype of the modern tight end that every offense craves. Dynamic, agile, and dependable. While his yardage numbers may not jump off the page, he has a knack for reaching the end zone. 6 touchdowns in 2024, 5 in 2023, and 3 during his rookie season. There's a reason he's referred to as a chess piece tight end. He excels in blocking, runs precise routes, and dominates in contested catches. He also consistently makes the catch, a crucial aspect. Njoku has faced challenges with. At only 25, there's plenty of potential still to be tapped. If Njoku doesn't come back, teaming him up with breakout sensation Harold Fannin Jr. could create one of the most electrifying tight end duos in the league for Cleveland. Fannin topped the Browns' receiving charts this season, racking up more than 730 yards. Picture the impact he could have with a player like that drawing coverage away. Now, let's dive into the quarterback room. Deshaun Watson is expected to take the reins as the starter, but recent seasons have shown us just how vital depth can be. Tyler Huntley, after his preseason stint with Cleveland that ultimately didn't lead to a final roster spot, might just be back in the conversation. He embodies the Monken prototype, a dynamic quarterback capable of prolonging plays with his mobility. While he may not be the ultimate solution, Huntley presents greater potential as a QB2 or even QB3 than many others in the league. He's a savvy, seasoned player who is already familiar with Monken's system and could serve as a dependable choice if injuries hit once more. All right, let's get to the heart of the matter. Which former Raven should the Browns really go after? Is Tyler Linderbaum the right choice to solidify a faltering offensive line? Is Hopkins the experienced leader that a young wide receiver group needs? Does bringing in a Woozy provide the Browns with the necessary depth in a secondary that struggled significantly in Ward's absence? Could Isaiah be the tight end of the future if Njoku decides to leave? We want to hear your thoughts, Browns fans. Which of these names are you hoping to see in orange and brown next season? Let's take a closer look at what each of these potential acquisitions could signify for the Browns. If Andrew Berry and Todd Monken can execute even one or two of these strategies, it could significantly alter the course of the 2026 season. Beginning with Tyler Linderbaum, it's clear this goes beyond merely filling a gap. It's all about turning the offensive line into a powerhouse. He's got youth on his side, a strong track record of durability, and he's the kind of cornerstone player you can definitely build your team around. As the uncertainty looms over the futures of Bitonio, Teller, and the rest of the O-line crew, Linderbaum transforms from a mere luxury into a necessity. He's a must-have. Combine that with a revamped Teller deal and potentially a mid-round rookie, and just like that, Cleveland opens up a route to fortifying the trenches around an exciting core. Provide Deshaun Watson or whoever is taking snaps with solid protection, and you could finally unleash this offense's true potential. With DeAndre Hopkins in the mix, he may not take the top spot as your WR1, but that certainly doesn't diminish the importance of his role on the team. Many overlook the significance of having veteran receivers in the locker room, particularly when your wide receiver core is packed with young, developing talent. Hopkins possesses an unparalleled football IQ and exceptional body control that simply can't be learned. If he's open to signing a budget-friendly contract, the potential rewards are huge. He doesn't need to chase after 200 yards. He needs to step up on third downs, snag some tough catches, and guide the upcoming generation of Browns receivers. At less than $1.5 million, this is an obvious gamble worth taking. The cornerback position is undeniably a critical area of focus for the defense right now. Chidobe Awuzie may not be a household name, but his consistency is undeniable, and that's exactly what Cleveland needs, particularly with Denzel Ward's durability concerns coming to the forefront. The Browns' secondary showcased elite performance during the first half of the season when the roster was intact, but the decline was stark once injuries began to take their toll. Bringing in a player like Wooey is crucial to make sure that one injury doesn't derail the whole operation. Additionally, he's proven he can rise to the occasion when it matters most. That game-saving PBU against Gage Larvadain is unforgettable. That's the value of veteran experience right there. He might not grab the spotlight, but he consistently delivers the plays that secure victories in December. It's time to take another look at the tight end situation. Harold Fannin Jr. is generating a buzz, and it's completely justified. The rookie tight end took the lead in receiving, stepping into some rare territory for a first-year player. Just picture the dynamic duo of him and Isaiah Likely, both on the brink of unleashing their full potential. Monken has a keen understanding of how to maximize the potential of both. Take a moment to revisit his work at Georgia with Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington. The tight end system generated serious matchup problems for defenses, and Monken is set to replicate that success here. Likely is more than just a depth piece. He's an explosive receiving threat all on his own. If Njoku departs, which appears more likely due to his contract expectations and injury concerns, he will likely emerge as one of the premier tight end options available in the market. For about $9 million annually, you're securing a high upside starter right in the prime of his career. And then we have Tyler Huntley. Let's be clear, bringing in Huntley isn't about expecting him to compete with Deshaun Watson for the starting role. We've seen it time and again in recent seasons. Backup quarterbacks hold significant value, particularly in Cleveland. Huntley knows Monken well. He aligns perfectly with the offensive system and presents a much more reliable choice compared to what the Browns have utilized in backup roles over the last 2 seasons. There's no certainty regarding Watson's availability. The Browns are in need of a player who can take charge of the offense, drive the ball down the field, and ensure that games remain competitive. Huntley provides a solid choice without straining your budget. Todd Monken's rising impact in Berea is the thread that connects it all. The front office is clearly valuing his input on personnel decisions, and that's definitely a positive development. The top teams in the league are those where the coaching staff and scouting departments work in perfect harmony, acquiring new talent. Monken's familiarity with the players is a significant advantage, allowing for a seamless transition and immediate impact, particularly when those players are already well-versed in his system. It's not merely about bringing in talent, it's about enhancing chemistry and ensuring system fluency. The strategy is definitely starting to come together. Combine promising young talent with the wisdom of experienced veterans. The increase in the salary cap opens up new opportunities for flexibility. Now it's up to Barry and Monken to get the job done. Absolutely not. The Browns won't be topping the charts with the cleanest cap sheet in the league. With some clever planning and tough choices, they can definitely set themselves up to compete immediately. This roster is not in need of a complete overhaul. The right pieces at the right price are essential. That's what makes the connection between Baltimore and Cleveland so intriguing. The excitement is already in the air. Browns fans understand that this offseason is set to be crucial. This team has the potential to transform from a borderline playoff contender into a serious AFC powerhouse with just a few strategic moves. It's going to be a tough challenge. Calculated risks and aggressive planning are essential, but the groundwork is solid. With the right additions, we could see Linderbaum anchoring the offensive line, potentially creating a formidable two-headed tight end duo with Fannin, or a Woozy stepping up to lock down WR2s throughout the league. The Browns might be brewing something significant as they approach 2026. If you're a Browns fan, now's the moment to keep your focus sharp. Momentum is building, connections are being utilized, the salary cap is increasing, and the potential is undeniable. If you're craving more exclusive Browns news, make sure to smash that subscribe button, give a thumbs up, and check out the video that's popping up on your screen right now.